Our video, set in a not-so-distant future, follows Lacie Pound, a young woman obsessively navigating a world where your value, literally, comes from a 5-star rating system. Everyone is subject to constant 1 to 5-star ratings from anybody who crosses their path, based on the quality and sociability of the interaction. Everything is rated. Lacie currently holds a 4.2 out of 5, but still short of the elite threshold. In front of her mirror, she rehearses the perfect photogenic expression. She lives with her brother, who spends his days gaming and is about to move in with a friend, leaving her behind. She casually mentions to him that she's going to view her dream apartment during her lunch break. At a coffee shop, everyone is absorbed in their screens, rating each other after every exchange. Those scoring 4.0 and above are socially safe, while anyone below is silently judged or outright dismissed. Lacie's carefully selected coffee order looks great in photos, but clearly tastes awful. Still, when her post earns likes, her mood instantly lifts. At work, she continues receiving virtual approval, even from higher-status individuals. But beneath her strained smiles and subtle eye rolls, she's deeply unhappy. Lacie doesn't just want to be liked, she wants to matter. Later, Lacie visits the dream apartment she's been eyeing. When the realtor gives her the tour, holographic projections show an idealized version of her future life there. In the kitchen, she appears in a pink silk nightgown, hair perfectly styled, radiating happiness. And then, just to seal the fantasy, a shirtless, stunning man walks in and wraps her in a loving embrace. It's everything her current life isn't: glamorous, secure, and full of connection. All that's missing? A slightly higher rating. Determined to hit a 4.5 and claim this new life, Lacie kicks off her mission to boost her score. First stop, a ratings coach. He estimates it'll take 18 months to reach 4.5, but Lacie doesn't have that kind of time. She needs results now, so she sets her sights on rubbing shoulders with the social elite, users rated in the high 4s, whose ratings can give her a serious boost. Naturally, anyone below a 3.1 is off-limits. She tries to charm her highly rated, uptight elevator neighbor with a free croissant, but the gesture backfires. The neighbor, unimpressed by the obvious pandering, hits her with a mediocre 3-star rating. Be genuine, the coach scolds her afterward. Then inspiration strikes: nostalgia. Lacie posts a photo of Mr. Rags, her beloved childhood doll. The likes start pouring in, especially from Naomi, an old childhood friend turned 4.8 rated influencer. And just like that, Lacie's star-chasing journey gets a promising bump. Later that evening, while Lacie is at home prepping dinner, she gets a surprise call from Naomi, a blast from the past. Despite the two clearly not being close anymore, Naomi wants Lacie to be her maid of honor. It's random, borderline suspicious, but Lacie is swept up in the nostalgia and, let's be honest, the opportunity. Tears well up, not just from emotion, but from the realization that standing next to a 4.8 at a fancy wedding could be her express ticket to a higher rating. This could be it. Her coach says, wedding's a gold mine of quality people, the kind whose stars actually count. Giving a killer speech in front of them might just bump her all the way to that dream 4.5 in the dream apartment. So she throws herself into crafting the perfect, tear-jerking speech. She rehearses every word, every dramatic pause, and even practices crying naturally in the mirror. Her brother, a humble 3-point-something, isn't impressed. He calls her out for turning herself into a fake, for chasing validation, and bluntly reminds her that Naomi was always awful to her. Lacie doesn't take the feedback well. She sees his honesty as an attack, not concern. On her way out to the wedding, she gives him a low rating out of spite. He returns the favor. In a rush, she collides with Tamara, a pristine 4.8, who also hits her with a negative rating, knocking her score even lower. During her taxi ride to the wedding, Lacie spends the entire time chatting animatedly with Naomi. The driver, unimpressed by her volume or vibe, or both, gives her yet another bad rating. By the time she arrives, her score has slipped dangerously to a 4.1. At the airport, everything unravels. A canceled flight throws Lacie's carefully planned schedule into disarray. Worse still, the only available flights are restricted to passengers rated 4.2 and above. Thanks to the flurry of negative ratings she racked up en route, she's sitting at a 4.1, just shy of the cutoff. She tries pleading her case, but her meltdown at the check-in desk only makes things worse. Her public outburst sends her ratings plummeting even farther, and to make matters worse, a security officer slaps her with a brutal double damage penalty. Any bad rating now counts double. Now that Lacie's banned from the airport, she has to get a rental car, the cheapest one because of her newly diminished status. But it comes with a catch. The charging station cable doesn't even fit. Stranded and desperate, she's left hitchhiking. But no one wants to pick up someone with a crumbling 2.8 score. She's radioactive. Enter Susan, a gruff, truck-driving 1.4 who couldn't care less about ratings. A former high scorer who went off-grid after her husband was denied medical care due to his own low score. Susan has no patience for the system or anyone still chasing its approval. She gives Lacie a ride and a much-needed reality check. It's all a game. One you can't win. Susan eventually drops Lacie off, and she hitches a ride with some festival-goers. Just when it seems things are turning around, Lacie calls Naomi, only to be uninvited. Her rating has tanked too low to be seen with. The elite circle of fours has no room for damaged goods. But Lacie's not giving up. She borrows a stranger's four-wheeler and makes her chaotic, last-ditch dash to the wedding. Bride's approval or not, she's getting on that stage. She finally arrives, filthy, frazzled, and clinging to her last ounce of hope. Naomi, now mortified by the human tornado standing before her, begs her not to speak. Lacie does the opposite. In front of a garden full of pristine, curated lives sipping champagne under string lights, she grabs the mic and delivers the speech she's been rehearsing for days. But it doesn't go how she imagined. Her smile falters, her voice trembles, and the polished performance spirals into a raw, emotional confession. She calls out the fakeness, Naomi's cruelty, the absurdity of the whole rating-driven society. The crowd is stunned. Her rating nosedives. Security rushes in. Lacie is dragged away mid-scream, her score bottoming out to 0. In the final scene, she's locked in a cell, directly across from another 0-rated inmate. And for the first time, she doesn't have to smile, filter herself, or perform. They hurl honest insults, make ridiculous faces, and laugh, really laugh. Stripped of stars, status, and expectations, Lacie finally stumbles into something real, human connection. Thanks for watching.